So if the carpet maker had a signature scent, what would it smell like? Would it be old vinyl, Egyptian spices, cedar wood, desert air, or something else?
I guess the first thing that came to mind was just the smell of my grandparents' house. But like, it's not like, I don't know how to describe that smell. Like, there's like my grandma cooking.
Before we wrapped up the interview, we hit Michael with a rapid fire round. 7 quick questions, no time to think.
And honestly, his answers were way better than we expected.
From cultural influence to dream venues, he kept it real the whole way through.
Here's how it went.
All right, you ready? Rapid fire. 7
go.
questions, first thing that comes to mind. Okay, Michael, if you could only keep one Arabic instrument in your studio forever, which one are you protecting with your life?
I'm gonna go with the oud. I have to say the oud.
Okay, cool.
All right. What's the most unexpected place you've ever gotten a song idea? Subway, grocery store, family gathering, or somewhere totally random?
Probably, I want to say like while I was like swimming in the ocean in the summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Dig it.
You were like, I cannot be that deep in thought when I'm swimming in the ocean. I'm usually like, what
What
is
the hell
out
was
here?
that? What does touch my foot?
Yeah, something just touched my foot.
That
That's
could be
great,
a song.
man. Yeah, good. Right on.
You've seen
Okay,
Jaws
so-
too many times, man.
Right. So, all right, you grew up hearing legends like Farouz and Kulthum. Who's the one artist from your childhood who you wish you could sit down with for?
I would sit down with Naguib Mahfouz, the author I told you about earlier.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. What would you ask him?
I would ask him like what it means to him to be Egyptian.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Yeah,
Next up.
that's like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was just
you-
gonna
you-
say that's like actually a pretty deep thought, because like if you took it seriously, it'd be like, wow, like, you know what I mean, like projecting outward into the world, like you had one chance to say what your thought was of being an Egyptian means to you, to the rest of the world. That's pretty cool.
Well, and I think that ultimately,
answer.
if you want to pick one question that is going to elicit the longest potential for you to actually get insight into them, into yourself, but also extend the conversation, because there's not just a simple 1 or 2 word answer to that question.
Right.
That is
well, and then
that
what
is a
he could
profound-
he could totally turn and flip it on you, Michael, and say, well, what does it mean for you to be an Egyptian?
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know. I still don't know how I would answer that question, but I feel like he's the most like emotionally intelligent person that could answer that question, and eloquently.
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever he says, you're just gonna soak it up like.
I'll just whatever he says, I'll just be like, yeah, same for me.
Yeah, ditto. Yeah. All right, Matt. Go
All
ahead.
right, next up, what is the most New York thing that has ever happened to you on the way to a gig?
So I kind of talked about this earlier, but the most New York thing was when me and my friend were on the subway with our guitars, and then we ran into another band who was coming back from their show on the subway, and then we talked about what each of our shows were like and what music we played and like how the venues were, and that was super fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Completely different bands, different venues. You still talk about the same stuff. That's great.
Totally.
Dig it.
So if the carpet maker had a signature scent, what would it smell like? Would it be old vinyl, Egyptian spices, cedar wood, desert air, or something else?
I guess the first thing that came to mind was just the smell of my grandparents' house. But like, it's not like, I don't know how to describe that smell. Like, there's like my grandma cooking and like I'd probably say
grandma's house.
Yeah.
You can't forget it.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
That's a great answer, man. That's a cool answer. I love it. It's my favorite answer so far.
You know what? That is probably the best answer that exists for a question like that, honestly.
Because as soon as you said that, Michael, I could smell my grandma's house.
Right,
You know what I
because
mean?
none of us are smelling exactly what your grandma's house smelled like, but that emotion resonates with all
totally.
of us.
Like, I think yeah, totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that answer, man. That is so kick ass.
Yeah.
All right. So you learned the oud during this project. What's the funniest or most chaotic moment from that learning curve for you?
I think like I was posting my like progress on social media, and I think the most chaotic thing is going back and watching those videos and like looking at how bad my technique used to be.
But did you get a lot of comments like, dude, you're playing
No,
it wrong?
no one was like telling me anything. I think maybe like it just wasn't reaching the right audience. So like nobody, like everybody was like, oh yeah, this is so cool. Like what a cool instrument. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I would always say, any tips? And then like no one gave me tips.
Yeah, you're like, I'm open for tips.
Yeah.
And nobody's like, yeah, no. That's so funny. Yeah,
do you have PayPal? Not that kind of tips, man.
An instrument that I picked up, this is about, I don't know, 2010 era, that I got really interested in by watching YouTube was a cigar box guitar. I don't know if you ever heard of one of those, but they're like little 3-string homemade instruments. They sound rough as hell, right? But they're very authentic. They're very real. They're very raw, and they sound really good with a little bit of distortion and very bluesy, you know. And that's kind of where it actually came from, was the poor man's guitar is what it was, because they couldn't afford a guitar. They would make one out of a broomstick, a wire, and a cigar box, and that's kind of where it was born, the diddly bow, if you will. Anyway, and I used to post videos about that too. Maybe I should start. I actually picked it up for the first time in like 2 years and was playing because there's this We Got a song coming out called Queen Bee, coming out at the end of April, that was inspired by, I originally wrote that on a cigar box guitar, but I have a full band now. We're like a 7-piece band, and it's all horns and everything. But
well, Zach got nominated for what, alternative song of the year by one of the local Utah publications for that song.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it was
Just his recording of this
2015
song on his cigar box guitar, and now 2026 we're gonna release it with a full 7-piece band.
Wow.
And like horns and the whole nine, you know.
Yeah,
So.
there's not any cigar box guitar in this version, but it was originally. It has the feel though. Like if you listen to it, like yeah, but
Cool.
Anyway,
I mean, so sorry, you just made me think of
No, go
something.
ahead.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but like
man,
also
no.
just like understanding folk and country music's like origins in Africa too. And I think like this, like the banjo being a descendant of like an African instrument is so
Right.
cool. And yeah, I mean, in North Africa, like you'll find these kind of banjo sounding like instruments, and you'll be like, and then like you'll be hearing music from North Africa, and you'll be like, wow, that sounds kind of bluesy. And it's like, that's because like it kind of like it came from there.
Yeah.
And I think it's so
Well,
cool.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't even realize that Egypt is part of Africa.
No, I don't think people do know. And I do also want to add that like the song Hold Your Keys, even though it doesn't sound super Arabic, at least the guitar part that I'm playing, it's a very common kind of melodic style in the south of Egypt. In Aswan, you'll find like a lot of pentatonic scales. You'll find a lot of like these kind of more African sounding musics. And I really wanted to lean into that for this song. Actually, I didn't even realize it until like later on. I was like, oh wait, this song is kind of like in a pentatonic, like North African kind of vibe, especially with the rhythm as well. So I really like, once I figured that out, I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool,
Yeah.
man. I actually love this song. My first impression when I popped on your Spotify and was just listening through is it flipped a switch in my mood, and in a good way. Like it was like, it didn't matter what I was like. It's like the perfect music to calm. It's a calming, peaceful music, and that's the impression I got. Like through the whole discography, man, I was like, wow, this is just super mellow. Like this is like, I could imagine a lot of girls really like this music. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking like they I don't know how they can. You've got a really soothing voice. You've got this oud. You've got all of the elements that are just like attractive for that sort of generation, or not generation, but just that kind of like that personality of people that like that kind of stuff. Like,
and I think it's also a situation where after, having to, sitting down and chatting with you, on the show, I can see now, like, you come through in your music.
right.
Like it's like, it's very congruent with, like, you're very confident, well-spoken, but you come off as very, very kind and approachable and
Yeah.
kind of relaxing and
Non-abrasive. You like,
right. But
yeah.
Well, I mean, but I think that's really cool. And it's not always the case. We interviewed a guy a year or two ago who's in a very, very aggressive death metal, like hardcore band. But talking to him, he is just the kindest. Like, oh yeah, it's like I'm having trouble. My head hurts trying to like the juxtaposition of you with your onstage persona and this music that you make.
Yeah, you're pretty real off and on.
It's true, and it's honest, and
that's definitely, I can understand where Matt's.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You're the same without a guitar as you are with one.
Thanks.
Right.
So,
Did we mention that we tend to get off on tangents?
Yeah, I still have one more question.
I'm a big tangent guy. Okay,
rapid.
All right.
All right, one more, and then
one more. Okay, question number 7.
Love it.
All right, you can teleport anywhere for a one night only acoustic set. Who do you pick? A rooftop, or where do you pick? A rooftop in Cairo, a quiet street corner in New York, or your grandparents' living room?
Wow. I'm going to go with my grandparents' living room.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
I just knew after the conversation we've had, I'm like, he's going to totally say it.
I think that hits it right on the nail. And
yeah,
maybe the next time I'm in LA, maybe I will have it there.
You should. It's kind of like you just put it out in the universe now, Michael.
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
That's really wonderful.
So,
yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that wraps up our Rapid 7. Michael, thanks for playing along.
Thank you so much.
Zach, tell him what he's won.
A new car. Just kidding. I don't have a new car.
I was gonna say I can't.
Godly amount of absolutely
He's like,
nothing.
I don't. Can I sell the car?
No, I'm like I can't afford to pay the garage fees in New York.